Hey everybody! Don't you just love technology? I had a little difficulty. The computer was not seeing the camera, so I ended up jiggling the wires and disconnecting and reconnecting a couple of times, and here I am. So as a backup, I thought, well, I could always use my phone. Anyway, I'm Christy Hickey, your host for today's Fluid Art on Magic Mix. If you're not a member of Magic Mix, please join our club, our Facebook group. Do live videos twice a week, and there are no bloopers cut out. You see it all. I'm spreading some aluminum foil down to put the canvas on top of it. I have a 16 by 20 canvas here. We already have the push pins in the back. And we're going to blow some paint today. What I was envisioning was a large hibiscus type flower. And I'm going to use the blow dryer to do that with. And we'll see how it goes. I've done it with the straw, but I really like the look the blow dryer gives. Of course, it's a lot more pressure, and it blends the colors in pretty good. I'm going to put down a white base. This is Sargent, I'm trying this out, Sargent acrylic paint. It's a titanium white. And I'm trying this out for the base coats. And we'll see how it works. I like the apple barrel. Where I live, I don't have too many choices to go to get supplies locally. You know, I could drive 30-45 minutes and pick them up, but who has time for that, right? There aren't too many days in a week where you can do that. So I'm trying out the Sargents, and I did add Floetrol to it. Sargents is a little bit thicker than your craft paint. The ratio was about 1-to-3. So if you're using 1 ounce of Sargent's paint, I would dilute it with 3 ounces of Floetrol, and it will give you a pretty good consistency. Hey, Paulette, she's joined us. How are you today? Thanks for chiming in. Let's see, I'm going to get the blow dryer ready. Give myself a little bit of space here. I just poured a little bit of white on the canvas, and for the technique that we're using, we will need a wet base on here. And you want it thick enough to where you don't see the weave in the canvas. And with it blowing, it's going to dry out. So I'm going to put this on here a little bit thicker than normal. Most important when you're using the blow dryer, make sure it has a cool setting. Okay, it will flake up your paint if you have it on the warm or hot setting. So check that out. Most of them do have 2 or 3 settings. And as an experiment a couple weeks ago, I wanted to use the blow dryer, and I'll show you that painting in just a second. I didn't want to use the white paint. I didn't want to use any color paint. So what I did, I used the Floetrol, and I just poured that on the canvas. And it turned out really nice. The time I had to work with the paint was extended. You know, the paint that I poured on, it was extended. The Floetrol stayed wet longer than Floetrol and paint. So I was pretty pleased with the outcome. And the areas that the paint didn't cover, you know, the canvas did show through, but the Floetrol gave it kind of a satin finish to it. So it didn't look like a flat, raw canvas. And I was quite pleased with it. I might experiment a little bit more because I liked the idea of not having a base color down. If you're doing an all over print, sometimes, I got something here on the, sometimes you don't want a base color. So that gives you another option. Something here too. But yeah, I was in a flowery mood today. I said, well, why not? Love the blow dryer effect. And we'll just go for it. Keep playing with it until we make something pretty. All right. Just about there. It's a pretty good coat on here. I think what I might do, the vision that I have in my mind is kind of an offset flower instead of in the middle. You know, because you're supposed to, when you're doing your composition, is usually in thirds. And you can divide your canvas in thirds, horizontal and vertical. And have a little bit of interest in all with one main area. So I was thinking maybe doing the middle of the flower about like right here. And then blowing it out, the petals this way, that way, that way, and that way, and having a little bit here in the background. So we'll see how it works. I chose yellow. This is Apple Barrel, real yellow. And we have Artist Loft orange and Apple Barrel red, a spring green, and I have a little bit more yellow in case we need a backup, and some other colors. There's a metallic orange, and going to do like a dirty cup or a flip cup. I'm going to add these colors. I'm going to add them, stack them up in this cup, and pour, blow, pour, blow. So I'm going to do each petal individually. We'll see what kind of effect that gives us. It might be interesting, it might not be. Hey, Sherry, I was a little bit late getting on. The camera or the computer did not see the camera. I was freaking out. It was not fun. But we're We're doing the blow dryer technique today. And I think I'm going to start off with the first color you put in is going to be the last color that comes out. All right. So if I put yellow in first, that'll be the last color that comes out. And I think that's what I want. I can always change it up because I'm going to be doing several petals. Make sure this stuff is out of my way. Oh, I need to cover this keyboard of the computer. Excuse me, y'all. In case. There we go. I don't want to splatter any paint on the keyboard. Let's see. Lisa's joined us. Hey, Lisa. Thanks for tuning in. And I'm going to pour this in here gently. This is the orange. And now for the red. If you live local and you want to participate in a fluid art class, let me know. We'll schedule one. Got a children's class coming up soon. Real excited about that. Kids are so much fun because they don't have any inhibitions and they just go for it. You know, they get an idea in their head and they go for it. And sometimes as adults, we need to remember to do that. Especially paint. It's just paint, right? Okay. I have the yellow, orange, and red in the cup. And I'm just going to take a stir, dip it in there a couple of times, kind of mingle the colors together. I probably need to put something down on this. So it doesn't blow this cover up. There we go. All right. Now about here is where I'd like to have the center. Like a petal going out this way, all the way around. And maybe some petals this way, or I might put the stem. I don't know. But we're going to give it a try. And 1, 2, 3. There we go. Got a little sloppy with that, but it's okay. It's been a while since I've done a flip cup. Just make sure you have plenty of canvas. We'll let that sit for just a few seconds. I have a little bit of trash right there. We'll get that out. Let the paint flow down. And lift it up. Ooh, it looks like fire. Okay, we're going to reuse that. And let's see. And one more thing I want to put down on top of that cover there. Go a little bit faster. Good. I like that. That is a nice petal. All right, so let's do one about like right here. We'll do another one. Let's see, we went with yellow first. And orange. This one I'd like to have maybe a little bit bigger. I'm going to add some more paint in there. Now the red. Oh, these colors are mingling together beautifully. I hope y'all can see this on the camera. I'll zoom in a few minutes, and so you can see how these colors are blending in together. All right, let's stir it up a little bit. Go. And another flip cup. Oh, good, Sherry, you like the colors. Good. Yeah, I'm getting out of my box a little bit. I'm not doing any blue and green yet. All right, this is making me nervous. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Yay! I didn't spill any of it that time. The cup is moving though. All the paint is coming down out of the cup. I really like how the center here is dark, so I'm going to try not to disturb that. And let's see. Yeah, it's going to disturb it. That's okay. I might be able to fix that. All right, I'm getting happy. Man, these colors. Hey, Cynthia. Let me zoom this camera down here so y'all can see these colors up close. Let's see, let me adjust the area. There you go. Isn't that pretty? So I think I want to do one more here and angle it off. I don't need as much paint. I might do one this way, depending on what this looks like. So let's mix up some more. I'm going to go with yellow. Orange. If anybody is thinking about participating in the Fluid Art Convention, August the 30th, for a couple of days. Make sure you sign up before July 1st because the rates are going up. Right now, you're having an early bird special, okay? So I will put the website on the descriptions so you can go to it and book your room, book your classes. There's a couple of free ebooks that tells you how to do a couple of these fluid art techniques. So check that out too. I think it's under classes. I think that's where the ebooks are, under classes. But I'll be one of the instructors there, and I would love to meet any of y'all that have been joining in the Magic Mix group. I'm going to be teaching 3 different classes, and one of them is a hibiscus. So, all right. I'm thinking, really like how this is right here. So, what I might do is, might just like put it right here and then blow this out this way, and this way a little bit. I can always add more paint. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Woo! Getting pretty good at that. See there, y'all? You can do it. The paint is coming down out of the cup. I can tell because it's floating out from underneath the edges. This will be up for sale. All of them are up for sale. Thinking about having an auction real soon. Baby needs a new pair of shoes. And I have a lot of inventory. Here we go. Oh, dadgummit, dripped right there. Sometimes it's a happy accident, sometimes it's not. Okay, so that kind of looks like a side petal. This is going on the inside, which is fine. Might spread a little bit of green down here. I really like this red in depth here. In fact, I'd like to add more coming up. Might have to blow it with a straw. Let me put this cap on the red. Camera is too close. Okay. I will zoom back out. There you go. Okay. This one would be a real pretty one to embellish. It sure would. Let's see. think I'm going to blow that off a little bit more. Okay, let's get another cup. Hey Pam, good to see you. I need another cup. Let's see. I had to mix up a bunch of paint before video time today, so some of them are still in the sink soaking, so I didn't have time to wash them. We've got one here. What I'm going to do here is do some greens. So I have the spring green. Let's see, Ronnie's joined us. Hey, Miss Ronnie. All right, so I'm going to go with spring green. What else we have in here? Oh, that would be pretty. Pithalia green. That's a beautiful color. And I don't know, I've got a little bit of metallic cobalt. Let's see what that does. I'll go for these two greens here. So I'm going to add the spring green first. And now I'll go with a Pithalio, that's how you pronounce it, I believe. We'll go with that on the top. Okay. Now what I wanted to achieve is put a little bit of green here, maybe some little veins going up and this way. We'll probably embellish this a little bit, define these petals a little bit more. All right, let's stir this up gently, not shaken. Just to mingle the colors a little bit. And let's see. I can always add more paint, right? I think I may have put too much paint into this cup, but we're going to go for it. 1, 2, 3. Woohoo! How about that? All right, let's let that sit there for just a second. And good. Okay, let's see here. Where's the straw? Not much dark one in there. Let's see. I'll pick some up on the side here. just gonna, nope, I don't like that look. Let's see. Sometimes these little bottles, the paint will get hard if you don't clear it out after using them. So check it. It'll save you some headache. There. Okay. I think what I'm going to do here is just kind of define it a little bit more. There. I think I'd like more, let's see. Got into the green paint. Just trying to define the petals a little bit more right now. Separate them, give it some depth. I think maybe this red's going to have to go back this way, and the green's going to have to go back up. But let me check this out real quick here. Yeah. I think we need a lot more red right in here. And let's see. I'm thinking. There. I think this green needs to go up that way a little bit more. Okay. And let's go down. So I'm bringing this yellow down into the green a little bit to help give it some interest. Give it some little feelers out. You know, you look at the flower and it has these little, depending on the flower, I guess, there's these little feelers that reach out, holds the petal together. That almost looks like a couple of eyes right there. We don't want any bugs. So I'm going to get rid of them. Now he looks like he's got horns. I swear I've not been drinking or otherwise. Okay, add a little bit more in here. Oh, I need to show y'all that painting I did that I didn't use a base coat. I used Floetrol, just strict Floetrol as the medium and put it down. Let's see, I want to put some, define this a little bit here, maybe around in here. A little bit of red. Darlene's joined us. Hey, girl, how are you? Just playing around in the paint. All right, let's blow that out a little bit. Oh, this yellow comes out fast. That's kind of cute. Let's see. I think I would like to have some more yellow in here up underneath that red. I have a little bit more left in here. I'm just going to pour it out. It's all the colors. Hopefully there's more yellow than red. Well, wasn't going for that. Trial and error. So that's what you got to be careful of when you start blowing. If you blow too much, like this in here, it's starting to get muddy. So you're going to have to determine, do you want to pour more paint on top of it, or you want to leave it alone and embellish it when it dries. And that might be what I do. Because embellishing it with this wet is not really working for me. And you can define the petals a little bit more. There. Well, that is definitely an explosion of petals. Let's see. I appreciate everybody watching today, and we'll see what happens. I can already tell, though, that when this dries, what I'll end up doing is taking some of the red and the yellow and some of the orange and embellishing these areas, making that look more like the center, and then possibly bringing out some of the other colors in here. It's kind of muted right there. But I want to show you that painting. This is the painting that I just used the Floetrol as my base, and it did really well. I mean, I was able to use the blow dryer for a long time, and sometimes when you're using a base paint, it gets thick with the blow dryer. Or maybe I've not done it enough to know all the tricks, but I was real happy with this outcome. Just using the Floetrol, I put that down on top of the naked canvas, and then I started putting my colors on top of it that were mixed with Floetrol. So my paint colors were mixed with Floetrol, and Floetrol was used as the base for this painting. And I was able to play with it a lot, and I used all my metallic colors. That's what I ended up doing. So it has a real pretty sheen to it. And when I put the polyacrylic on it, it's really going to bring it out. But these little areas here, I did not use any white. This is where the canvas is showing through, and you cannot tell that's the canvas. So that was another plus for Floetrol. It's a really great product. But you like that one? I know, that is your colors, isn't it, Sherry? That would match your house. It sure would. It sure would. Christmas is coming. Another 6 months, right? Anyway, thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. And I will see you next Tuesday. I'm going to turn this around so you can see it from my point of view. And Tuesday, I might just do 2 things because Thursday's the 4th of July. And everybody needs to go out and enjoy their holiday. Barbecues, fireworks, be around your loved ones. Lots of hugs. Join Facebook, Magic Mix, get in on the fun. We're almost up to 200. And we'll have another drawing soon. Thank you all. See you later. Hugs, everybody.